This is Osiris, Watcher of the Asylum, and her effect used to be the most complicated game in the Summoner's Nexus TCG, the digital indie TCG that I've been working on for the last 3 years. Now, she's from the Asylum subset, and their whole deal is that they manipulate the graveyard and the game's safe zone, the Nexus, in an effort to prevent effects from being activated in those locations. She used to say that you could remove a card your opponent had in the Nexus from the game until the end of the next turn, basically banishing it. Now, the idea here was to remove your opponent's access to the card, but the rules of the game were later updated to make it so that cards that were removed from the game directly affected your deck's synergy, since the card was no longer part of the deck, and synergy is required to activate your card's effects. To make a long story short, with the rule update, we basically turned this card into an Omni Negate on accident. Now, that obviously had to go, so I updated it so that she just destroyed the card for a turn before summoning it back onto the field, but that felt really weird. It was clunky, right? Going to the grave and coming back wasn't standard practice at all at the time, and the wording was awkward, so I changed the effect as a whole. Now, when she's summoned, she just returns a card in the Nexus back to the hand and refunds the summoning cost to your opponent. It's way more seamless, and the wording does restore her opponent's life points, but it also lets her take action before any card can respond by letting her use this in the declaration phase, which is something that no other card can currently do. What's funny is that after all that, we changed the rule back, the rule that made it so that synergy was affected when cards were banished. We just took that out of the game, so all of this was effectively for nothing, but I ended up liking where we ended up, so I kept it in. This is technically the first ever errata in my game, but as at the time of recording this, the card hasn't even been released into the early alpha, so I don't think it actually counts.